The Encounter update. I think many of you know that Encounter has separated from CEM and is its own charity now. And we have Lou Shepherdson as our board chair now for several years. Lou has been pivotal in helping the organization to make this transition. And part of what we were tasked with was the big task was to make Encounter self-sustaining because CEM can't be sustaining Encounter going forward. And so to that end, we created a board of directors. We've added lots of directors. We've added some new ones this year who are really great. And so that was sort of the task. And I do want to take just a moment that we did have obviously one really sad moment this year that you're aware of, which was the loss of Dar. Dar was one of our board members and just somebody who we obviously miss. The task, as I mentioned, has been to get Encounter to some sort of level of self-sufficiency. And on that front, and I've shown this slide before, but I want to show it again because you have lives, you would not expect you to remember things from a year ago, is that we decided that Encounter would look after, target sort of three areas. One was the community and individuals that make up the community. Second is education sector, and third is workplace. Community includes things like lifelong learners and all sorts of social groups. Education, of course, there's schools, but also universities. And the workplace was the one that we thought we had to grow the most because for the simple reason of becoming sustainable, they're the ones who can pay the most. And so those are the three. In the community area, one of the organizations we work with is Road Scholar. And Road Scholar is the world's largest educational travel company. We do a lot of online talks for them. I sometimes do whole week-long programs where we do a religion a day. I teach in the morning and we interview someone in the afternoon. But in addition, in 2023 and then again this year in 2024, they actually put me on a cruise ship to travel around so that I could speak about the religions to the places we were going. So I had an opportunity to do that. I don't want to be cute or coy about it. It was a wonderful personal opportunity. I do want you to know it was very good for Encounter as well. They paid every day that I was on the ship, even the days I wasn't talking, so it brought good money to Encounter, but it was also very good for my education. I have been teaching about these religions for 20 years, but really I've experienced Islam and Buddhism and Hinduism in Toronto and some other places in North America. But now I've been to Japan and China and India and Thailand and Egypt. And it really has affected my teaching. I'm able to talk about, how you hear the Quran in the streets of Cairo and how you hear it in your cab driver's car because he has it on a loop. And, how Islam is different in Egypt and the Gulf states than it is in Malaysia. In Malaysia, it's more liberal, essentially. So I've really learned a lot. But I did have this wonderful opportunity to travel this year to Japan, where I learned a lot about the Shinto tradition, which is not very prevalent in Canada. And here are some beautiful Buddhist temples that were on a kind of mountaintop. Japan was beautiful. In China, I saw some of the most interesting Taoist temples that I've ever seen. I loved this temple. I called it the Temple of Smoke and Fire. Do you see these rings? They are rings of incense. You see how big they are? And they are all lit, all of them. You see how many they are? And they're stacked on top of one another. They're 3 layers deep and they are just billowing smoke. And these are not electric lights. These are all little torches that people come and light. There was so much smoke and fire in this temple. It was really something to see. But of all the things that I have had the good fortune of seeing, nothing will, I think, ever touch India. India just blew me away. Here we are in the banks of the Ganges River. There's a place where you can go see the cremation grounds, which I went and saw. In the morning, I was here at dawn and people are out on the river offering water to the sun. And this is in the evening where they have an evening ritual every night where there are thousands and thousands of people every night who come for hours ahead of time to gain a seat. I've never seen, a place. I don't know how many places are on earth where you would get thousands to a religious site every night. It was really something. Along the banks of the Ganges River, I thought was the most religious place I've ever seen. There were these sadhus, these holy men, they're male ascetics. It was really something. Delhi was incredible. And I also had a chance to go to the Sikh Golden Temple. And that is the Mecca or the Vatican for the Sikhs. Here's a Golden Temple. I got there at dawn so that I could see the morning light reflecting off of it. I was there for a few hours in the morning, and then I came back at night. I wanted to see it at night as well. I think I spent 6 hours there, and it was just a beautiful temple. I eventually got inside after about a 2 hour lineup. But just being around this pond, there were people sitting there meditating as they played the scriptures, and it was really gorgeous. And so that was one thing this year, was this incredible opportunity to travel, to gain knowledge and experience and education, to be able to come back and share with others. Another key part, sticking with the community theme, another program that's in the community element for us, besides Rhodes Scholar and all the lifelong learners, is the Discovery Week. And Discovery Week was an enormous success this year. In the desire to become self-sustaining, we have had to increase the price of the Discovery Week over the years, which is, pros and cons. But the worry was that we would, not be able to sell it out. But we did sell it out. We had a wonderful group. Here we are at the Buddhist temple. Here we are at the Jewish synagogue, and the rabbi showed us the Torah scroll, and he chanted from it. He was a guy with a real sense of humor. I really liked him. Here we visit the Zoroastrians who greeted us outside and then eventually brought us inside. And we went to the Sikhs, where we ate the langar meal and listened to the kirtan, the chanting from the sacred text. Not only did the week go well, but something has happened that none of us had ever dreamed about. And that is that it is September when I'm recording this. And in September, we are about 60% sold out for the 2025 Discovery Week. I can tell you I've never dreamt that we would utter such a sentence, but there it is. So the Discovery Week is doing very good, and it has helped us financially as well. We're able to take to benefit from it financially in a way that we've never been able to before. Okay, and so that's a bit on the community and some of the growth. And that really has been a theme of this year, is it has been a year of real growth for Encounter. I don't recall a year where we have ever had such growth. I've shown this a little bit on the community side, but it's happened on the corporate side too, which is the most important for us, because the corporations are the ones who can, pay the kind of bills essentially that, pay the kind of fees that will allow us to become self-sustaining. And so with the corporations, we're doing a lot of equity and inclusion training. They want to make their workplaces welcoming for people of diverse backgrounds, including diverse religious identities. And so they're calling us. And so I went to Colorado for this engineering firm that has, I think, 13 offices in the United States. We're doing so much with the region appeal. It is possible that in about a 12-month period that kind of spans part of this year and part of next year, that we'll make as much from Peel as we did from all of our corporate clients in 2023. Not for sure, but we could. We very much could, or at least get close. Police, we're dealing with multiple police forces. I have a police engagement next week. I have another one a month later with a different police service. And I really like doing stuff with the police. I think it's really important that they understand the religious diversity of their communities and can act with sensitivity. We're going to be taking the very senior brass of the OPP into a Sikh Gurdwara and into a mosque. So that's great stuff to be doing. And other folks, we're working with a law firm for the first time in our history. We've been working with high-tech firms. This is one in the United States, but we've been working with one in Canada as well. And so all of that has been going really well. So there's been all this growth. And Lou came up with the brilliant idea of tracking this impact. And what he came up with is the idea of person hours. So if I'm giving a talk and it's 1 hour long and there's 20 people, then that's like 20 person hours, meaning, there were 20 hours of a person getting training or experience or teaching from Encounter. And in the first 9 months of this year, so this is not an annual number, it's just 3/4 of a year, we logged 12,000 person hours. That is a lot. And I can tell you, my friends, there is no other organization, I am sure, in Canada that is doing as much, having that kind of an impact on religious literacy as the Encounter World Religion Center that CEM gave birth to those many, many years ago. So it's really been a good news story. We do, of course, have challenges. And the first challenge comes off of that last slide, honestly, which is that I am definitely this fall running at a rate that cannot be maintained. Next week, I have 19 hours of presenting from Monday to Friday. And tomorrow's a Friday. I have 6 tomorrow. I have 2 engagements tomorrow, and then next week I have at least 1 every day, but on one day I have 3, another day I have 2. So that's not going to be sustainable long term. Lou saw this bottleneck coming and said, you know what we need is we need a way to make money where it's not going to be you presenting. And so the goal, and this is something you've probably heard us talk about before, is to develop training videos. We have talked to clients who said, we would love to have videos that we can just play and people on our staff can watch them when it suits them. And we've talked to them about the kind of videos. They would be short, kind of 5-minute videos. I'd be interviewing members from different traditions. We know how to do them. I think we're going to be able to do a different kind of training video that's customized and only useful for one client in the next few months. But if that goes well, it will expose us to this very good videographer and give us a trial run so that hopefully when we produce ours, we're really ready. The bottleneck for us, however, is funding. I had hoped that we'd be able to find a foundation or something to do this for us, to fund it. We have not so far had success on that front, and we'll keep trying. But I think the more likely path is what has opened us up to us is that because we've been so busy, we are starting to accumulate some funds, both from our revenues and from the fact that we have more donors, more monthly donors and congregations donating to us. That is starting to get us, it's visible. It's visible that we could get there. And to that end, if you're wondering how to help Encounter, we would love your support on this front. We really feel the videos is the thing that can make Encounter get to its destination of legitimately being self-sustaining and having that kind of stable, bright future so that Encounter can be around long past me. So if you are interested, we'd love to have your support. There are a number of congregations that are doing this as part of their Pursue Peace initiative. They just earmark, $1,500 a year or $1,000 a year, or a couple thousand. So if you want something like that on your line item, something for the Pursue Peace initiative, if this is something you see value in for our country, this diverse country, that would be wonderful. And finally, as I wanted to mention that there is something for you as well, and that is if you're interested, we have a blog and newsletter that goes out every 2 weeks. It's at religionsgeek.com. I should have put that up here, but it's religionsgeek. You can also get it through Encounter's website. But yeah, what we do is we send out a newsletter every 2 weeks, and it has stories in the news with little comments from us. It has a list of things we're doing. So sometimes we do have like sessions online. Last winter, we did East Asian religions for 4 weeks. So it would keep you abreast of those things if you ever want to join in on any of them. And part of it is I write a blog every 2 weeks on great books I've read or things that are in the news. I just wrote one about why evangelicals are so supportive of Donald Trump. So if you're interested in that, just go to Religions Geek and sign up. Okay, folks. So with that, I think I will stop sharing. And yeah, I just want to end by telling you, in terms of religious literacy in Canada, there really isn't an organization, I think, that has the impact of Encounter. And that is a credit to all of you. I deal with all these religious communities. No other religious community founded anything like Encounter. It was the match of this really unusual guy, J.W. Winland, running into an unusually supportive community, and that is you, that made that happen. So, pat yourselves on the back, have some pride in that, because it really is a gift you've given to the Canadian community, and a gift you've given to me. So thank you very much. And thanks again for your time. And yeah, if you are interested in supporting us, we'd love that. And if you're interested in the blog and newsletter, sign up. And I hope that you are all well.